Fresno, California is not a destination most tourists have on their bucket list. Aside from agriculture and good places to eat, there's really not much else going on in California's 5th largest city. Now, I've never been to Fresno, so I'm sure some of my viewers that reside there can prove me wrong in the comment sections below. Like any major city, Fresno has a good side, with nice neighborhoods, and to my understanding, the north side is the bougie side. However, like most cities here in California, this city has really struggled with substance abuse and homelessness, and things have gotten much worse in the past 5 years. Fresno isn't known for its booming job market, unless you're into some form of agriculture, but if not, the pickings are kinda slim. On top of the non-existent job market, most of the media coverage on Fresno has really highlighted how much this city is struggling with substance abuse and gang violence. Gang culture is nothing new in the city of Fresno, California. The Tiny Raskals are considered to be one of the largest Asian gangs in all of the United States, and Fresno just happens to be the hub for one of the largest subsets of the Tiny Raskals gang. However, another gang also resides in the city of Fresno, one that has had a long history with the Raskals since the 1980s, and that hood is the Asian Boyz. We've talked about both of these gangs a lot on this channel, but that just goes to show you how much impact and history these two gangs had, not just in California, but nationwide. TRG and ABZ both have sets all around California and other neighborhoods across the United States. But where it all started was Long Beach. Long Beach became one of the top destinations for the many war refugees escaping the Khmer Rouge. These Cambodian refugees were escaping horrific conditions in Cambodia, just to be thrown into a different kind of war zone. They faced many challenges growing up in these neighborhoods, such as the rampant gang activity and poverty. Hispanic gangs such as the Longos picked on the local Cambodian youth, so much to the point where a group of them banded together to form TR, also known as Tiny Raskals. Originally, the Raskals were formed to protect their own people from neighboring Hispanic gangs, but what started off with noble ambitions quickly turned sour. Internal disputes caused members from TRG to break away and start a new gang, and this is how the Asian Boyz came to be. Some would go as far to say that nearly all Asian gangs within Long Beach have some sort of connection with the Tiny Raskals gang. The beef between TRG and ABZ is very well known in the city of Long Beach, California. But let's take things back to Fresno. Fresno has a total population of about 500,000 people, and Asians are about 75,000 deep. Top-ranking members from Tiny Raskals moved over to Fresno to start the Fresno chapter. One of the OGs that really started it all for the Raskals out in Fresno was none other than Big Crook. Crook is a second-generation Tiny Rascal OG, and if you're interested in his story, I've done multiple interviews with him on this channel, so if you have time, go check out the interview after you're finished with this video. But you did mention that you were from the youngest, you're the youngest from the TR bloodline, correct?
Right, the youngest.
The youngest. And some people seem to be confused on the history of TR becoming TRG. Maybe you could shed some light on that.
Well, it's TR, it's a brother name, like big brother, little brother type of. And back when we were young doing this, when it was TR with T, it's a person name. Or, may he rest in peace, it's also a person too. Now, these two individuals, we highly respect.
Crook and a couple homies started the Fresno chapter back in 1989. But we can't really talk about Fresno without mentioning the Fresno Bulldogs, who are by far the biggest hood out in Fresno, and back in the 90s, they were going at it with everybody, including the Tiny Raskals. The beef between TRG and the Bulldogs isn't as bad as it was in the 90s. However, there is still tension without a doubt. The gangs within Fresno have a lot of tension in general, if we're being honest. Damn near nobody gets along with each other. And I mentioned earlier that Fresno is the 5th largest city here in California, so the Asian Boyz definitely wanted a slice of that pie. Given the history between TRG and ABZ, it's no surprise the streets of Fresno quickly turned into a war zone for these two gangs. The Tiny Raskals' main territory in Fresno starts around Chestnut and Huntington Avenue, which is only about a 10-minute drive from ABZ territory. The Asian Boyz were known to have territory off of Belmont and First Street. With these two hoods being so close, problems were bound to arise. By 2009, there had already been 30 shootings involving the Tiny Raskals and the Asian Boyz. Things were heating up for these two hoods, and a series of events led to a shooting that claimed the life of a pregnant gang member and her unborn child. Several days prior to this shooting, a member from ABZ got jumped by a group of Tiny Raskals gang members. In retaliation, ABZ decided to get revenge by hitting the Raskals with a drive-by in their own territory. TRG immediately responded with a drive-by of their own, targeting the parents of the ABZ gang member they had just jumped. As you can see, these guys were straight ruthless, going after anybody that was associated with you, if they were a gang member or not. But after all, this is the harsh reality of the world of gangbanging. After this shooting, a group of ABZ members had a meeting with the shot caller named SoCal Yan, and I apologize in advance if I mispronounce any of these names. Yan had been a part of ABZ for a long time and was a top-ranking member who had say-so within the hood. He allegedly insisted that the group retaliate by going into Tiny Rascal territory to up the score. After some debate, 4 ABZ members left Yan's house to Easterby Elementary School, right across the street from an apartment complex that was a known spot for TRG. 2 ABZ members got out of the car and walked up on a group of women that were kicking it in the parking lot and started letting off shots. 20-year-old Nate Ouch was hit in the back and she died from her injuries. She was also 8 months pregnant. After the shooting, the 2 members ran back to the car and it was a wrap. For now. Ouch was not from TRG, but she was the wife of a Tiny Rascal gang member that was involved in a separate murder. And what makes this story even more tragic is the fact that after Ouch was killed, her husband from TRG took his own life. As far as the group of Asian boys, the shot caller we mentioned earlier by the name of Yan was tried jointly with one of the members that was present at the shooting. It's also worth mentioning several of the members that were involved ended up copping plea deals. One member allegedly even lied about his affiliation to the gang in order to get a sweeter deal on his end. Which is a big no-no. Both Che and Yan got 2 life sentences for these murders, and the other 3 involved got manslaughter charges, so they are probably walking free right now if they are alive. This was just one of the many killings between the Asian boys and the Tiny Rascals. Both of these hoods have made it very clear just how much violence they're willing to bring to the table. Times have changed since the 90s and early 2000s, however. Killings are still happening, but the era of gangbanging has already peaked in my opinion. And to be honest, there are plenty of other career paths in the year of 2023. It's been a while since I posted a video, and I can't lie to you guys, I've been going through a lot. And I'm not quite ready to talk about it on the channel just yet, but just know I've been having a mental health issue, you know, relationship issues, you know how it goes. But you know, your boy's back. I've been on my shit, trying to get back on my grind, and I'm got some content for you guys. You know, it's been a while, but you know, I hope you guys understand why I had to take so much time off, but I'm back. But until next time, I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace.
Dina, described as an outgoing member of his church choir.
I thought that we escaped from the Khmer rule. We came to this country. We thought, well, this is a safe place to live.